Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, I need to mute my own live stream, I think. There we go, so we don't get that voice going back. Good evening, and welcome to welcome back, I should say. I saw some chatter in here before we started about the announcement that was made today, and yes, I have seen it. I haven't actually read it yet, but I figured we could sit and have a look at it together. I have the main plan for this live stream is to go out and test the blunderbuss build. I made some small alterations to it with some of the weapons since last time we took it out here before Christmas. Was it after Christmas? I think it was after. I can't remember. Last time I live streamed. So we're also gonna go over the build and all that stuff today. But just hello, Andrew. Hashtag Troopshores here. Dave is here. I'm getting notifications probably telling me that I'm live. Yes, thank you, phone. I know that. Shut up, phone. What do you keep? Okay, I just get an email telling me that I'm live as well. Red Bull here. I'm pretty sure also Don Gloria is there as well. So good evening, everybody, and we also have the replicated man over on Twitch. Was that right? I think it was. Anyway. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the live stream.
Services at this starport are constantly being updated.
So, anyway, I think we should just dive into the community post and then take it from there. In my professional opinion as a program, would you release the carriers and then fix the bugs? Or do what Frontier is doing to fix the bugs and then release the fleet carriers? I mean, that's a difficult question actually. But like, which order you would put it in? I mean, it's always the question, like, do you take the technical depth that you have, like, do you fix the bugs that you know are there, or stuff that you need to correct first and then add new features, or do you add new features and then fix this bug later? Or triggers, if you're when you're adding new features, you might have to do another run of bug fixing. So therefore, potentially you could just do one big bug fixing patch at the end. There are really pros and cons to both. The other thing is, well, you could also end up, let's say you build a new feature on top of a buggy system. Well, you could end up breaking that new feature when you fix the bugs. So there are pros and cons to both approaches, and it really depends on your style, I guess. Anyway, let's jump over and have a look at the community post, which we have here. As you can see, it came out today. 5 p.m. so it shouldn't be that long ago.
Please follow standard operating procedures and request docking permission before entering the starport.
Anyway, okay, let's go into it and let's have a look. It's not that long, so it shouldn't be too much. It says Happy New Year, Winter 3306, and they want to tell us about the new updates coming to Elite Dangerous. Thanks to all the commanders who joined the beta back in November. We're happy to announce that the January update will be launching on the 14th of January. So that would be next week, next Tuesday. Well, I guess I know what I'm going to be streaming next week. Sus asked what I think of the X56. Is it good for Elite Dangerous? Well, as you can see, I still have mine. We're gonna let's talk about that. Remind me if I forget. Remind me about it in when we get out and actually get into space and get some flying done here. Let's hope it's been QA tested this time. I'm pretty sure it has. I mean, it's been beta tested, which is essentially that. But I just want to see. So, yeah. So, the first half of this year's update will be focusing almost exclusively. So there are also other things on fleet carriers and fixing as many high priority bugs and issues as possible, ensuring that the game runs as smoothly and freshly. What? Purist? As a freshly purchased... yeah, Cobra Mark III. Got it, sorry, wow. Hold on, I think I need... upgrade this to full resolution. There we go, that's a lot better. To be clear, this means the Interstellar Initiative / community goals will be on hold. Oh, that's a shame. While we focus on the subsequent series of updates and betas that will be coming over the following month. See, that's interesting. That they're not doing interstellar initiatives or community goals, but also the fact that they will be doing more betas in plural, meaning that. Because I always thought we're going to get the January update, and then we're going to get a summer update that's going to include probably more bug fixes, but also fleet carriers. But because they put that, didn't they put betas? Yeah, plural. So that would indicate that they may actually be doing maybe another update in between. There might actually be 3 updates there the first half of this year. Yeah, I would agree. They're not very detailed on this. But I think it's interesting also that interstellar initiatives. Should I actually zoom in so it's easy to read for you guys? Maybe there we go. I think it's interesting that now it moved around to the screen. Where did it go? Interstellar initiatives. We're still up here somewhere. There we go. Interstellar initiative. I think it's interesting that those are being put on hold, because I always thought that these things, that the Interstellar Initiative would be something they would have made in a way that they could make them fairly effortlessly, that they could just fairly easily, they just need to write the story around the initiative, and as soon as that was done, the actual implementation of it wouldn't be that time consuming. And I would think that the guys who do maybe some of the storytelling and some of that kind of stuff wouldn't necessarily be the same guys as who do bug fixing. I mean, to me, bug fixing is really much a programmer's job, but it's probably not a programmer's job to write the stories for Elite. I would assume there are someone else who maybe they don't have a dedicated person to lore. I mean, there's not that much lore development in Elite that you could have a dedicated person for it, but at least maybe put it out to the community team or something like that to come up with some ideas for that. But it's funny that is being put on hold. That actually probably shows that there goes a lot more work into interstellar initiatives and community goals than I initially thought. I always thought of it as being for them a relatively low effort thing to put in. Interesting. Anyway, but again, so we'll probably have more than one update, it seems. I would probably expect the fleet carrier to be the last one. I'm still like mentally thinking that, like, in my mind, I think fleet carrier is gonna come at the end of the second quarter, because if they then decide to put it out earlier, then I can only be pleasantly surprised.
We would like to welcome all commanders to this facility.
Interstellar initiative and community goals haven't been interesting enough to lure you back to the bubble. I mean, I think it's fun that they do like a few community goals that kind of tie together with a little bit more story than they usually were in the community goals. In my mind, I always found the community goals to be, well, not that interesting because the story around it was often very thin, and they often felt like just complete redos of some earlier ones that, like, there weren't that much new in it. Now that they actually added the story, I mean, the interesting part of Interstellar Initiatives for me is not as much the activities themselves, because those are often just like go trade something, go shoot something, go do something. I mean, it doesn't add new gameplay to the game, but the stories around them can be quite interesting. I agree, the Golconda story was actually quite fun, and suddenly seeing a generation ship with people still alive is quite interesting as well. Let's read on for the next paragraph here. Much like the January update, this update will be accompanied by open... nice! So again, to say more updates, there will be open betas, really nice to see, allowing commanders to jump in and see the content before it's released, as well as help us identify any major issues or bugs. Yeah, I like that. Thumbs up from me. We will be providing... Try it again. We'll be providing more details about all of these updates in the near future, so keep an eye on all of our usual channels. So that would be forum, Twitter, anywhere else, I guess. The team are hard at work on the next major milestone to Elite Dangerous at the later end of this year. So that's actually interesting, because I've always said that I expected the update to come at the end of this year, and when I mentioned it in Hello Dave yesterday, also mentioned in the previous post. When I mentioned it, Hello Dave, I think there was someone who commented and said that didn't they only say Q in like the second half of next year? And I think they're actually right. I think so far all we got was second half of 2020, but now they are saying the later end of this year. So that means, well, looks like we're gonna get major updates for Christmas. So a lot of you guys can. Thoughts on box and betas? Am I going to participate? Yeah, for sure I am.
will be met with an
Um,
appropriate response.
both to go in and see what they're doing, but also if I stumble upon a bug, I will of course go and I will report it. That's why betas are there. And I know there's been a lot of talk about, oh, now Frontier is just using the player base as their QA testers, and they should do this job themselves, yada yada yada. I've seen those arguments being put around somewhere. But to be honest, I mean, most of us are here because we enjoy the game, and I see it as in everybody's interest that we get Elite Dangerous to be as good a game as it can be. And if that requires, or maybe not requires, but if I can help with that by going into a beta test, and if I stumble upon a bug, report it, and that bug then does not make it into a light build, well, frankly, then I would most definitely prefer them to have open betas. And if you don't want to help Frontier QA test the game, well, luckily it's a beta test. You don't have to. You can just keep on the you can just stay on the live server and nothing will have changed for you. You will still get the patch out, and it will most likely be less buggy than it would if they didn't do a beta test. So, in my mind, I see absolutely no downsides to having a public beta. The only one being if you are very interested, if there's some law or something they want to they don't want to put in. We've seen that before. For instance, if they in a large patch where they added when the Thargoids were introduced into the game and stuff like that. That stuff obviously wouldn't be put into a beta test because it's something we have to go out and discover, and Frontier don't want us to accidentally discover that doing a test. They want that to be discovered on the main server. Also because obviously the console crowd doesn't have access to beta tests. So yeah, I would say, yeah. So those kind of things obviously never make it into beta tests, but yeah. Anyway, let's see how did it work. We'll be ready to start revealing more about this after the fleet carriers update. Okay, so we will not get any news on what's gonna come before we get fleet carriers. That means probably after summer vacation we're gonna see, let's say, August, September kind of thing. I think we'll begin to see some news regarding the major update at the end of the year. I know you're keen on hearing more, and we're excited to be able to show you what's to come. Okay. Posted by Steven, new community, or latest community manager to the team. Well done, well done. Well, I mean, other than the release date of the bug fixing patch, we still do not have a actual patch note, so we don't know exactly what patch, what fixes are gonna come in. There was a lot of the things they were doing in the beta was like exploratory bug fixing, where they just had various areas, like especially around Thargoid hunting, where they just enabled some additional logging, so more log information was collected, so they could try to figure out what happened in situations where the game misbehaved. Anyway, looking forward to that. Let's get in game and let's have a look at the blunderbuss, and then let's take it out for a spin. If this would behave. No, box, come, box. There we go. You need to turn the right thingy here.
Access to docking facilities requires
Let me just get myself into the game here as well, so that there we go. Okay, so I'm now in game as well. Here we have it. Blunderbuss, in case you are all about the bus, all aboard the bus. Yeah. In case you haven't been following the development of the ship, it's meant to be very unpractical, but be a ton of fun. I decided to get the scramblers, the small fixed burst lasers with built-in jitter that does a ton of damage to shield, but has no penetration and therefore do next to no damage to armor. They're quite fun, and again, I decided to try to do a build around that, and then also with some pacifier frag cannons. And I've been flying it around for a bit and tried it, and I said it's very unpractical. It runs out of ammo in like 10 minutes, but those 10 minutes are really, really funny. But I think the first thing we'll do is we'll take this thing into the outfitting. We'll just run over the build, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. So for the hard points, I have 2 pacifiers. I put double shot and screening shell on. Double shot for even more damage output. Screening shell for the fast reload. And the same on the other one. Those are of course both situated here on top of the ship. Really nice and a tight pack, making it a little bit easier to hit smaller targets. Of course, the pacifiers, they are different from normal frag cannons by having a quite tight jitter. So that means the spread of the shots are a lot tighter than it is on a normal frag cannon, also giving the gun a little bit longer effective combat range. And the damage output of these is quite good, should we say. Last time we took this thing out, I had some pack hounds here with some drag munition on, and that was not that good. So, in the interest of, I mean, if we look at the cannons here, the pacifiers, we can see here it has a, where is it? Where is the armor? Armor piercing of 45. That means that it will be penalized when it comes up against bigger ships, like Anacondas or anything like that, which has a hardness up in the 60s, 70s area. I can't remember exactly what the Anaconda armor hardness is. So that means it will get some damage reduction from the hardness of the armor. So therefore, I decided to fit a multi-cannon, just a gimbal multi-cannon, nothing fancy. It can definitely do some damage. And this one got overcharged just for that extra damage, and then of course corrosive shell to get that 25% to their armor. Hardness, so that the pacifiers are not getting penalized as much, to get a little bit more oomph out of those. And of course, yes, we do get a reduction to ammo capacity, but the ammo capacity on the multi-cannons is not going to be the issue. It is the pacifiers that are going to run out, and they're going to run out really, really quickly. The rest of the build is just scramblers, and right now I'm going with short-range blasters and an oversized. Now, short range might seem insane on something like this that already has a very short range, but the normal maximum range is 1,000 meters, so 1 kilometer. But with the jitter, you're not gonna hit a lot of things out at 1,000 meters anyway. Before it had a fall off, I believe, a damage fall off of 600 meters, and by and every, like, the thing got from 600 down to 500 meters. So now we end up with a maximum range of 500 meters and a fall off of 500 meters. Yeah, so that means we have an effective range out to 500 meters, and we are going to be able to hit most stuff at that kind of range. But that means we need to be really, really close. And the way I would often fly this ship, as you're probably going to see in a second, that I found to be most effective, is to sneak up behind an NPC before, and then you when you open up with the scramblers, hopefully you're going to be able to take down the shields before they're going to do pretty much anything at all. So those are the weapons. I'm not really sure about the different engineerings, if that's the most optimal, but for now this seems to be working quite well. When it comes to the utility, shields on this thing is, actually we should probably go and look at the optional internals first. As you can see here, it is mainly a hull tank. It does have a shield, it does have a bi-weave shield that has been modified with thermal resistant fast charge. it's not really meant to have a shield tank at all, but it has just a little bit. I think it has like 300 hit points in total or something, so not a whole lot. I mean, the shield would drop in no time, but it's just there to take some of the first initial hit, and then I'm even the wrong tabs here. Yeah, okay, almost 400 hit points on almost 400 hit points on the shield, so not amazing, but the resistances are quite good. We also look at the utility mounts here. But at least all of them are resistance augmented force block to get some resistance up there. Just because I don't want to increase the hit points, because I want that fast recharge, and then just pump up the resistances to get as much effective out of it without affecting the recharge too much. For the rest of the optional internals, it's a combination of hull reinforcements, modular reinforcements, all the way with a small auto field maintenance unit at the bottom, just in case that, I mean, I'm not sure this is really that necessary, because either you would have to synthesize ammo a lot. What is the point of this ship again? The point of this ship is to be up in your face and then blow stuff up as quickly as possible, and just be generally a lot of fun to fly, which I think it is. It's not practical. It's not something you would take out to actually do any kind of PvE, like for longer durations. It's something you take out and you like spend your ammo in 10 minutes, and then you have to go back or synthesize more. So again, not the most practical build, but again, it's a ton of fun. Okay, so we could potentially change out the auto field maintenance unit for something else if you want to. I don't know what you would put out there. You want to see a fight? We're definitely going to take this out for a fight. Just give me a second. We're just going to run over the core internals. Reactive surface armor. Again, we're just getting some more hit points with heavy duty reflective plating. Because we're running an armor tank, I have gone with an armored power plant thermal spread. Not really necessary with the thermal spread. I think it's not really having any issues with heat, especially since we don't really have any that heat intensive weapons. We have the scramblers that can generate a little bit of heat, but the rest is quite low heat output weapons, and we have no shield cell banks or anything like that, so it's not that bad. The Welts, hello. No, yeah, I stream every week on Tuesdays. Well, not during Christmas, but I've been normally I stream every Tuesday at 8 o'clock Indian time, and then usually it takes around 2 hours or something like that. Thrusters, again, we want to keep this fairly mobile. So dirty drive, drag drives, no surprises here. Frameshift drive, obviously we are going for some increased range in mass manager to get some range out of this. Life support, I believe, are just lightweighted. That is D-rated. Again, this is not gonna go far from any station, so we can easily make it back even if we do lose a canopy, but we shouldn't. 6A power distributor. This is a little overkill. I don't think we actually need 4 pips to weapons to get this thing running. Often we will have taken down the shield before it runs out, but it is charge enhanced and super conduit. And the sensors, again, we are going really close range, so we are not that reliant on our sensors. It's nice so we can see enemies at further range, but D-rated, lightweight, so not the longest range on the sensors, but it will have to do. And that's pretty much the build. I think we should take this thing out and yeah, just following up on chat here. Just gonna take this thing out and let's get some shots fired. And thanks for the follow on Twitch. Elite Dangerous is definitely a game for people who like spreadsheets and statistics. You should try to play EVE Online. I think we're just gonna go to Delcar. Should be one jump out, yeah. And should be plenty of planters there. I'm not sure if it's necessarily the best. Did I restock this on ammo before I left? Yes, I did. Show the ship stats. Ship stats are not really amazing. I mean, if we look at the ship health here, quite low, but again, the armor is quite good. Just shy of 4,000 armor hit points with some decent resistance. Do I play Eve? I did play Eve, like, way back. It's been multiple years since I last played the game. I have been playing the Eve Echoes public beta that is currently running. And has really enjoyed that. So so kind of getting into the Eve universe. I don't think I have tried to pick up the main game, Eve Online, but I don't know. It always ends up being, I mean, it is one of those games where you should really log in every day and at least spend 30 minutes to an hour to maintain things. I agree. It's definitely not for everyone, and you need to. I mean, if you want to play it actively, I think you would really have to invest the time in it. Hey, the pilot. Welcome. I can't remember if this system has any resource extraction sites or hash reses anywhere. I think, if I recall correctly, if we head out to this cluster with 9 and 10, I think there are some hash reses out there. So just go that way. Spent around 7 hours going from 0 rank in Empire to Vice Count, 4 ranks away from Duke. I mean, each rank is going to be progressively longer and longer. So, unfortunately, I'm not sure if you're halfway there yet in terms of time. But what are you doing to increase your rank? Are we gonna get in range of any of the other planets? Just keeping an eye on if any hash reses show up. Okay, I'm pretty sure that is one of the most effective methods. I think, unfortunately, then all there is to do is just to keep grinding, unfortunately. Red Bull, that's one of the weapons again. I have 2 pacifier fragmentation cannons, 1 multi-cannon with corrosive, and then 3 scramblers. Is it 3 scramblers? I believe it's 3 scramblers. Yes, it's 3 scramblers. Just use the scramblers, they do more damage than a G5 engineered huge beam laser, and they're class 100. Yeah, you're right, but they do next to no damage on armor, because they have a armor penetration value of 1. Whereas if you look at something like the pacifiers, have an armor penetration value of 45. Against something like, so I mean, we could do a lot to make the scramblers more effective against armor. I mean, having the corrosive shell somewhere to reduce armor hardness, and you could put something like a sturdy mount or anything that would increase the is it focused? I can't remember what. There's the engineering upgrade that increases penetration, so you could double that up to maybe 2. So you would have 2 armor penetration, and then you could. But at the end of the day, you're just trying to make a weapon that's really not designed for doing armor damage, do armor damage. So I think you're better off like playing into the whole. I should actually keep an eye on. Yeah, there's some hashmas here. I think you're better off playing into the weapon's strong sides and just accept it as being useless against armor. And then just find something else to do your armor damage with. And then just accept that the scramblers are there to take down shield very, very fast. Yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna go and scrape paints with them and then take it from there. I have a feature video of the ship here coming out tomorrow, where I did some recordings when I was out flying with this, and I did manage to take down an NPC Anaconda in 22 seconds. Oh, we're gonna overshoot this one. Are pulse lasers or beam lasers better for killing shield? Well, if you look at pure damage, then beams, but as also mentioned in chat, it depends on your power distributor, because if you don't have the power distributor to keep those beam lasers firing, then you might be better off switching over to something like burst lasers, maybe. Loop of Carlos block. Okay. Let's get the right firing group. Let's get some pip distributed here. Actually, we want a little bit more thing into maneuverability here. Okay, do we have anything interesting? Type 9, I highly doubt that's wanted, but let's scan it just for good measures. Oh, it's being shot at by something. It was definitely clean. And it's being shot at by a clipper. We can try to fight a clipper. One thing I do like about this ship is the speed. It is quite fast. Now, the problem is here, he's already engaged in combat, making it slightly more difficult to get the jump on him, because he's already moving around a lot. Oh, did you just change target? And the fact that we have to be very, very close to him. Okay, here we go. There goes his shield. Multi-cannons. Ah. Missed the last shot, but it doesn't matter. He's gone. Boom! Oh, this ship. It never gets old. It never gets old. What do we have here? Are you wounded? Nope, he's clean. Okay, let's find something else to shoot at. Keelback is probably not wanted either. Yeah, if only you could do something about the ammo. Nope. This is a mining ship as well. Oh, there's something going on down here. One thing this build is not really good at is small and mobile ships, because, again, my piloting skills when it comes to fixed weapons is not amazing. The dropship, though, I believe he's in a wing. No, he's not. Well, let's go get ourselves a dropship then. Okay, wait for a good jump on him. There goes his shields. Softening up. And there comes my poor piloting skills into play. There we go. Got him. There's a clipper here. Should we give it a guess and say he's wounded too? Deadly clipper. Yeah. Oh, don't want to be too much. Oh, look at the paint job on that thing. He actually managed to get outside my range before I managed to get his shield down. There we go. Well, a bump works too. And he's gone as well. What engineering on those frags? It is double shot and screening shell. Python. Look at the shield recharge, by the way. I think it has from 50% to full shield. It's like a minute. Okay, I think he wants to scan us. So if we allow him to scan us here real quick. And as soon as he's done with his scan, he will turn away. And that is the perfect time. Ah, I should have gone behind him first. There we go, shields are down. Come on, turn. Come on. And there's basically just this all day long. These things just keep ripping everything that moves in front of it to shreds. But problem is, it needs to be right in front of it. Let's see if we can't find something bigger. Anacondas are quite fun in this thing. I am aware that having pips to system makes my shield stronger, but the shields are so weak already that it doesn't really matter. That's what. Dangerous anaconda. This should do it. See if he wants to scan me, or should we just... so we can get in a good position on this guy. Hello! Chasing him. Ah, missed that one. There we go. It's gone. Not the cleanest kill. Just missed my positioning quite a bit there. Well done. What's going on here? Okay, Vipers and a Diamondback, all fairly small ships, so that's going to be interesting. But let's give my shields a second to recharge, at least up to 50%. And then let's go for a wing of smaller ships. Definitely not what this ship is designed for, but let's see if it won't work. Gonna start out with the Diamondback. Should be quick. If I could actually hit him. At least I got his shield down. Now comes the difficult part, that is hitting him with fixed weapons, which I am not going to be very good at. Come on. So as you can clearly see, this ship does a lot better against larger ships than against a wing of small ships. So let's switch back to the scramblers and let's try to take care of his shields again. Okay, he's gone. Come on. Ah! As I said, my skills with fixed weapons is not good. Well, that works too, I guess. Oh, the Scramblers only comes in fixed versions. Okay, got one. Just one left. Come on. It's a good run. It's running shield cell banks. Ah, powered weapons. Oh, come on. Okay, he's so low on shield now that I think I can just take the shields down now with the multi-cannon and then begin to work with him with the pacifiers. go. There we go. So, did manage to take them down eventually, but it wasn't pretty. And this ship is definitely much better suited for something like a dropship. But with the amount of ships flying around here, looks like he has a few friends with him. Yeah, so he has a few Cobras with him. And with only 32 shots left in the pacifiers, we would have to probably synthesize some more ammo before we do this if we're gonna be fighting the Cobras, because we're gonna be spending a lot of ammo because I can't hit anything. I should have a few reloads left. Oh, that was for the... Haha, that was the wrong one. That was for the multi-cannon. There we go. Can you show us your exploration stats for your commander? For this commander, I don't think they're that impressive. I haven't been doing that much exploration on this account, but we can take a look if you want to. If there's playtime you're interested in, it's around, what, 13 weeks? Only 10,000 system visitors. This character has spent most of its time in the bubble. Okay. Let's see what we can find. We have a little bit more ammo with the pacifiers now. We should probably actually clear those so we have a full reload. So we do have that wing there, but what about a Python? That's a mining Python, okay. Well, I guess we're gonna go for that wing with the dropship. At least hopefully we can take down the dropship fairly quickly, and then we only have to deal with the 2 Cobras. Neo asked if I'm going to stream. I'm a little confused. I am streaming right now. Okay, let's hold on, let's focus on this here for a second. I want to get like 90 to 45 degrees behind him, like right. Oh, okay, that's a clipper as well. Go, bye-bye, he's gone. Next. That's the kind of situation this thing is built for. Not this. I did get one volley off. You could definitely feel that. Okay, we could just kill the Cobras with the multi-cannons. That would work too. Put some pips over here. Is he exploding? At least he's crashing into a rock now. Never fly without a reload. I think you can afford 1 or 2. Yeah, coming with the rebuyers, less than 5 million. It's not too bad. I think I saw a clipper. Yes, clippers are fun. deadly clipper in a wing of 3 with... Couriers with him. Oh, that's gonna be fun. This will be interesting. What's the combat level of the Couriers? Master? Okay. Why is it just sitting there? And dangerous, okay. Shh. Come on. There we go. That's one. That's not as bad as I thought it would be. That's 2, and 1 more. Where the hell did it go? There we go. It's gone, at least the shield is, so we now begin to work on his armor. Oh, he's running. No, you don't. It's like bringing a sword off shotgun to a knife fight. Yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate description. Is that a dropship with Vipers in a wing? Pretty sure it is. Yeah. Oh, elite this time. That could be fun. Oh, wait, is he running? I got a frameshift drive detected. Let's see if we actually get in position on this guy if he is in fact running. Ah, okay. Never mind. Why was he running? I don't know why he was running. Another clipper. Been really unlucky with my anacondas in this run here. Let's get a little better distance to this guy, and he's gone. This is the chieftain. People asking what line ship it is. Running is a pretty valid combat move. And all the proxy mines. Look at that. You see the string of proxy mines on the scanner. What's my personal guess as to why carriers got moved back? Not once, but multiple times. I think they're having trouble making awesome enough to justify. I'm pretty sure they had it down, like design-wise, what they wanted to do with them. And was on track with it for a December release last year, so 2019. But then the December update happened and everything broke, and I think they spent like a month fixing stuff. And that time they spent fixing the bugs after the September update just ended up taking time away, meaning they couldn't finish fleet carriers in time, and then they decided, well, instead of just postponing it like a month or two, they wanted to make sure they could get it at like this time they could get it on schedule, so they just decided to postpone it for longer and then just focus on the bug fixing instead. Sorry. Okay, let's take this guy down. There we go, got him. What are we actually going to be able to do with fleet carriers? I think it's basically going to be a mobile, like a small mobile station that's going to give you not all the features of a station, but a selected few features from a station. That's my guess. So based on what support ship you add, you'll probably get different features from the ship, like being able to sell cartography data, or, I don't know, some bonus to mining, or, I don't know, stuff like that. Okay, so with pacifiers, you can see we're out of ammo again. We're down to three shots in each, so we'll have to, once again, go down and synthesize. I'm actually running out of synthesis on these. I should get more nickel. But we can do one more. And yes, they will be good eye candy. That's a good point as well. Okay, let's go after that clipper then. God damn it, sit still. I think that's the best opening I'm gonna get. I would definitely like to see more larger ships, just to get some more variations on that end of the scale. We have plenty of medium ships by now. Pretty much all of Beyond was just, here's another medium ship. Should we go... It's a drop ship, so let's go focus on weapons a little bit. a poop at the end to finish him off. But yeah, as you can see, it's a pretty fun ship to fly. I'm having a ton of fun with this ship, and it's one of those, you know, when you just want to go out and just like not be very effective at, but just like find some stupid anacondas and blow them up. Asp Explorers, maybe. Could be a mining ship, though. It's a mining ship. Gunship. That could be fun. Okay. Mining gunship, apparently. Guess we'll leave him alone. Clipper. There we go. Lots of clippers today, not a lot of anacondas. I was here the other day, it was packed full of anacondas. Would like to see a vulture. A vulture is probably going to be one of the more difficult ships to try and fight in a ship like this. Yes. Let's get around there. Ah, sit still. Kill you. There we go. And he's gone. There's another clipper. And he looks like he's not in the wing. Nope, he's not. And whoop. No looting? No, no looting today. I mean, we could, I guess, drop some of the lower slots to fit a cargo hold and a collector if we really wanted to, but nah. Okay, somebody said they wanted to see a vulture. Let's see if this vulture is wanted. Let's just clear the barrel on the pacifiers. He's in a wing. So this might be interesting. Because this is definitely not the type of target that I'm meant to be fighting in this kind of ship. But I'm gonna give it a go anyway. Oh, about to overshoot in there. Damn it. Come on, come on. Stay on him, stay with him, stay with him. Ah. Okay, it wasn't actually too hard. Alex goes, what the fuck is this gun? Those are... It depends which one you're asking about. It's either pacifiers, which is the frag cannons, or it is scramblers. Is that mines again? Yeah, it's proximity mines. Someone's been here on a mining ship. Oh, did I see someone fight over here? Yeah, those are power play weapons. thought I saw some lasers in this direction. No, it's special weapons you can unlock through power play. They only come in very specific versions, so you can't get like both gimbaled and fixed and turrets. So they only come in one variant, and they're often just a variant of an already existing weapon that is then either specialized in one direction or has some damage benefits from other weapons. Ooh. Deadly Anaconda. So here we probably want a little bit more shield, less maneuverability. Because condos. Just try to get in a good position here before I actually begin shooting at this guy. Like, come on, get close to distance. Do need a little bit to my engines, I guess, so I can actually keep up with this guy. I actually thought I would get him on that volley. There we go. And listen to all the engineering materials floating around. This ship just never gets old. Get the shields back online. It's a python. Oh, mining python. Gunship. We've got both a gunship here and a dropship. One of those must be wanted. No. It's mining. Okay, he's shooting at something or being shot at by something, so... So we're gonna get in position behind this guy. Ah, I didn't change the fire group there. Yeah, somebody asked over on Twitch if they can get a link for the build on Coriolis. Sure, just give me a second. And let me get a link generated. Here we go, and a shortened link. Oh, let me just check actually, because sometimes Coriolis has some issues with some of these weapons. Just checking that it actually looks... it looks about right. There's a link there on Twitch and for you guys on YouTube as well, in case anyone is interested. Something just jumped in. Gunship. Oh, that's the mining one. Diamondback. Kilos was broken earlier. It seems to be working right now. At least I did manage to get it up and running. Okay, let's wait for something bigger to shoot at. So I don't know, how long have we been up here by now? About... Nah, this ship is not designed for conflict zones. I mean, you can see the shield is quite weak, and the armor is okay, but it's not gonna survive sustained fire for that long. It is really designed to just go in, pick a single target, and rip it to shreds as quickly as possible, and then begin searching for the next target. So it is really designed for conflict zones, for hazardous sites. We would want something with a little bit more of a sustainability when it comes to tanking. Oh, lots of fighting going on over here. What is fighting? A python, I guess? Python is being shot at, so he's probably the... He's being shot at by a dropship. I guess we can try and save a python. I'm out of ammo on the pacifiers. Hold on. Hold on, little python. Do I still have synthesis? Or have I run out? Oh, there it is. I still have enough for one on each. Then I'm actually out. Then we need to go and trade in some nickel. Can you use a Mamba in a conflict zone? I'm pretty sure you could. I mean, you can use any ship in a conflict zone, I guess. Get in nice and close. Not that close. Okay, that works, I guess. And he's gone. Both have more gunships and dropships and stuff and things here. I'll stay in this area for a bit. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. Volleys. And he is gone. Neo, thanks for the follow on Twitch. Okay, things are disappearing. Where are... There was a lot of ships a second ago. And thanks for the subscription on YouTube. I just was looking at chat, so didn't see if I could spot any kind of lasers or anything in the area. Anyone being shot at? No? Guess we'll be making it back to the center then. Nuke, thanks a lot for subscribing on YouTube. Oh, there's a dropship. I think that was what we're looking for. Is he in a wing with the Diamondback, or is he flying solo? Or is he actually mining? Nope, he's wounded. Perfect. Is he chasing something, or is he running? Oh, that's a little bit too fast. King up on him. Ah, and he boosts. It looks like it's okay. We can pretty much keep up with him as he's boosting. So, let's go. 2 volleys, that's down. 1, 2, and... oh, reloading, great. And a little bump there to finish it off. No, I'm not streaming on Mixer. I think it's enough to keep track of 2 platforms. And I haven't had that many requests for Mixer. The main reason I'm streaming on Twitch as well, because some people didn't like YouTube, as you can see just above, that somebody preferred Twitch because of the, yes, it could be the layout or like latency, quality, I don't know. Let's just get a little bit of hit on the shield, and whoops. 1, 2, switch over, 1, 2, 3, and he is gone. that thing that was the fastest one yet. Oh god. I'm shooting with scramblers for the shield and pacifiers and a multi-cannon for armor. Who do you have to pledge for to get the scramblers? The crazy warmonger, I forgot his name. Archon, that's the guy. You can see here at rank 3, after 4 weeks, you unlock the scramblers. So, 4 weeks of wait time, and then do your merits, and you're good to go. Nothing. What's that down here? Dropship. How are we doing for ammo on the pacifiers? They're still doing pretty good. Okay, so in this case he's now trying to scan us, so we can throttle down and just wait for him to come to us. We're sitting still, he should be slowing down as well. And as soon as he finishes his scan, right there, we can chase him. And kill him. No, it's in a chieftain. Because all the small hard points and large hard points for the pacifiers. It was really a weird one to try and find a good ship for this kind of build, because I needed a lot of small hard points so I could have a lot of scramblers on. And I also want a decent number of, what do we have here? A lot of small ships. I also needed a decent number of large hard points so I could have some of the pacifiers, because they only come in those sizes. Like the scramblers only come in small, the pacifiers only come in large. And then not too much of everything else. Which is why I think the chieftain is the ideal choice, because you always also want kind of some maneuverability or some speed, so you can try to maneuver around people, and especially if you're fighting smaller ships. And if you, like me, is not the best with fixed weapons, well... Oh, hold on. What do we have here? We have a wing here, but there's some fighting going on over here. A lot of guys shooting at a fighter. So a wing with a diamondback and 2 eagles, I guess. Yeah. Nah. Again, look at the absolute like cover of proxy mines everywhere. It's just a string of proxy mines everywhere. Look at the mines. Do a mine run. Let's play Minesweeper. Oh, there we go. They're all exploding one at a time. Okay, what was this this wing over here? Wing up, never mind. Then there's the diamondback and 2 imperial eagles even. Kai asks, can you tell which gives large percentage to me if you donate Twitch or YouTube? Okay, so I'm not affiliated with Twitch, but if you have the option, then where I get the largest cut is through the Streamlabs link in the description. YouTube takes their 40% of super chats, and I believe the fee on Streamlabs is like, is it 3 or 4% or something? It's significantly less. Okay, wing of 2. I don't know what he's flying with, but we'll deal with that in a second, I guess. Just gonna get this this clipper here. Now, could you not? Yeah, there we go. Clippers are fun because you actually have to fight them a little bit. Oh, come on, don't reload now. Whee! And the other one is, of course, a diamondback. What else would it be? Of course it would be a diamondback. Oh, uh-oh. Let's see how much damage we can do with the scramblers. We can actually catch up to him, get in range. They do next to no damage. Switch over to the multi-cannon. He's gone. Because of that poor armor penetration, the scramblers do not hurt. Oh, I thought for a second it was an anaconda. Deadly. Nice. He's in a wing with probably that Imperial Eagle we saw before. Or something else. Oh, it's a Diamondback Scout. Okay. The Imperial Eagle. Imperial Eagle is of course the Diamondback thing. Okay, let's get this guy. Get closer, get closer, get closer. Oh, pips, and go. Half shield, and shit's gone. Should have reloaded before. And he's gone. Now the Diamondbacks finally woke up. I'm out of ammo. The pacifiers. Well, I guess the multi-cannon will have to take care of this one then. Don't you run. Bye-bye. Ramming speed. Exactly. Okay. Problem is, I'm out of ammo on the pacifiers and I've run out of nickel, so we can't synthesize anymore. So I guess it's time for us to, to head back to Shinrata.
You are the featured content creator of the week this week on Loose Screws podcast.
That is right.
Thanks for being awesome.
So I got contacted by one of the guys from Loose Screw. It's I think it's a relatively new podcast. Well, they've been doing it for a while, but it's been I think they've been reworking it lately, and they have a new segment where they're doing featured content creators, and I talked to them like over the weekend, and they asked if they could put me in as a featured content creator, and I said of course. I can't remember. I should have a link to it somewhere if you guys are interested in listening to it. Let me just get this here real quick. Otherwise, some quick googling should. Yes, exactly. Here we go, from January 3rd, I believe. Right? Is that it? I think this one is, at least that's where I have been, there we go, posted links for that. No, that's the main site, but that's where I've been listening. Time to get, Matthew, goddammit, time to get some nickel back. Oh god. Race, I just want to say thanks for all the videos. It's been a massive help to you, very welcome. HyperX Cloud 2 gang. Oh yeah, all the way. Hello and welcome back. Someone just came back to Elite after a 4-year break. That's a long break. I keep forgetting that Elite is such a like old game by now. Jameson Memorial. Of course. The opposite way. Yes, people ask on Twitch, the pacifier is a power play weapon. Both the pacifiers and the scramblers are power play weapons. Yeah, if you haven't played Elite in 4 years, that's a lot. I mean, 4 years ago, that must be just... So you must have left just as Horizon came out, would be my guess. And that means, like, engineering, a ton of new ships, like cutters and corvettes weren't in the game back 4 years ago. Yeah, everything on planets wasn't there either, so... That's an interesting suggestion, Robert, trying to do wing assassination missions on this. I think it could work, but it really depends if I can get the target down fast enough. Because if I get into a turning match with that, because the ships in the wing assassination missions are engineered, and I don't believe the ones you meet in conflict zones in hazmat sites, I don't believe they are engineered. So it is going to be a lot more difficult target. But if we could get the ship down fast enough, then it could potentially be an interesting ship for wing assassination missions if you just want to go in, kill a target, and then run. People ask, or Sierra asked, what line ship this is. This is a chieftain. The art of trying to stay yourself aligned while reading chat. And not overshoot as I usually do. We're here? Are we almost here? Nice. Yeah, you would have to, like, as soon as you drop in, I don't think the targets are immediately hostile when you go into the mission. So that gives you the chance to run up on them and get a good position. Meaning getting the shield down probably wouldn't be that big of an issue. Often, I think, at least from the missions that I've been running, it seems like the targets are often flying fairly mobile medium ships. And with them being engineered, they would definitely be more mobile than what we have been fighting today. How good is the Challenger compared to the Chieftain for combat? I haven't really done a comparison between the Alliance ships. It's on my to-do list at some point to do a more deep dive into the base stats of the ships to see how they actually stack up. Like look at the base shield, look at the heat capacity on them to see, to get some actual numbers on it, rather than the, like, you can find plenty of comparisons between ships, but it will often be based on people saying this one feels like it's more maneuverable, or this one feels like, and I guess that's a point too. But I normally just go down and look at the hard stats of the ships and see how they stack up. Yeah, you're right. There's the whole wing, but my plan was if you go for one mission like that and you could take down the target fast enough, you wouldn't really have to worry much about the wing. You would just run from the rest of them.
This is an important announcement. Security surveillance is in effect at this facility at all times. Acts of aggression will be met with an appropriate response.
Looked at this guide to fit a Python for mining. I have the same module, but the guy has 200 jump range. I have 18. What do I do wrong? Have you engineered it? Or are you maybe missing... Yeah, I don't know. If you said you had the same module, then it's not a Guardian thing, and that would also be the 10 light year difference. That sounds like engineering that you're missing on the modules. $13 billion credits. Do you really think that's enough? I think I can keep myself fed with new ships and modules for a while now. Yeah. Yeah. If you don't have the ship engineered, then that's definitely it. If it's a mining ship, then you're not that dependent on your engineering, but the jump range is really nice to have, so you can get some more range out of your ship. Maybe some of the others would be necessary. I don't know if you check your power consumption, but maybe the power plant. But again, if you're not fitting any weapons or not to have the biggest shield either, so you might be okay on a stock power plant. But at least get the frame shift drive engineered would be my suggestion as a start. And you can unlock that really easy. There are 2 entry-level engineers that allow you to do grade 5 FSD upgrades. There's both Felicia Farsier and Elvira Matuk. Any thoughts on the recent development in Betelgeuse? Orion is looking pretty odd at the moment with it being so dim. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, okay, so just to keep you guys up to speed in case you don't know what it is Matthew is talking about. Betelgeuse being one of the largest known stars in the galaxy, It's a star that's in what's known as its red giant phase. I mean, it has been on like a main sequence star, what is like the majority of the stars you see, and towards the end of its life cycle, the star swells up, becomes massive, like really, really massive. And again, as I said, this is often happening toward the end of the star's life cycle. And we know it's been in the red giant phase. It's been that since it was discovered, and that's the reason why it's so big, because it's swollen up. But exactly what this means, I don't know. But when a star changes its physical properties so rapidly, and in astronomical terms, anything changing like that rapidly as it has been here, that is essentially instant in astronomical timescales. So when you have a star that changes it so rapidly, that is often an indication that something is about to happen. But when I say about to happen, that could mean tomorrow, and that could mean in a few thousand years, or maybe 10,000 or something like that. So it might be that we're not going to see any more changes in, well, not in our lifetime at least. Or it might be that we're going to be witnessing a supernova in the not too distant future, which would be quite a spectacular event. If we actually have Betelgeuse going off and going nova, I believe it's heavy enough to go nova. Can we check actually? Hold on. Or is it Betelgeuse where they got the mass wrong in the game? There are some physical stats that is not right on Betelgeuse in the game here. Here we have it. Beautiful star. Massive, massive star. Yeah, see, that's not right. I don't believe that that is only 0.25 solar masses. Hold on. That can't be right. I know there are some wrong properties, but I can't remember if it's the mass. Let us just check. What does Wikipedia has to say? We have the Wikipedia page for Betelgeuse, and there's actually the Danish one. Can we get the English one, maybe? There we go. Astronomy, characteristics, luminosity, temperature. They should put the, here we go, mass. Yeah, okay, so it is 11 plus 5 to minus 3.9 solar masses. So then we can go and find a HR diagram. See if we can find one. There's one here. That one is good. Okay. HR diagram. So we can see the star has, let's say, around 11 solar masses. There's 10 solar masses right here. So this put this up as being originally like probably a B-type star, I would guess. And you can see that what it has done is it's moved out here from its super giant branch, as it's called. So it's out, probably out here. You can actually see Betelgeuse is right here. So it originally, when it was a main sequence, this is the main sequence, all these stars lying here. So originally it was in here being a very bluey star. And as it reached its end of its life, it's swollen up and it's now sitting out here on its red giant branch right at the end. So yeah, this should have a lifespan of something on the order of 10 million years-ish, right? So this is a logarithmic scale. So we have 100 million years here, so it's like, when I say the order of 10 million, it could be 70 or something. Kavoom! Yeah, we might not be far from Kavoom. But having a supernova go off this close, I mean, it is how close? I think the position, at least in the game, is correct. So that should be relatively easy. Let's just check that again. Yeah, 500 light years. This is basically in our neighborhood. This is... You have to remember, if this thing goes nowhere, and I'm not 100% sure if it will. I can't remember exactly where the mass limit is, whether it goes nova or not. But regardless, if it dies, it's going to be a relatively violent event with a star this massive. And this happening this close, a single supernova can outshine, or can in for a few weeks, it will send out more light than all other stars in the Milky Way combined. So if a supernova goes off anywhere in the Milky Way, we're going to be able to see it. If it happens 500 light years away from us, we are definitely going to be able to see it. I would expect probably even at daytime. Yeah, I would expect so. That, as I said, you will be able to see it at daytime, so having the brightness of the moon would probably be a good guess. Yes, go out like a rock star, Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is actually a definition of what you would consider a rock star. It's big, it lives a violent life, but it dies young. Would the results get 500 years to get here? Yes, it would. But we have just seen it dim, and that means that dimming happened 500 years ago, because it's around 500 light years away from us. So that dimming we just saw already happened 500 years ago. It just reaches us now because it takes that much time for light to reach us. And imagine the pictures of the Orion Nebula after that. Exactly, as Bongo said. Yes, it would take it would take 500 years, but if it went bang 499 years ago, we wouldn't know it before next year. Exactly. So we won't see it then. Well, yes, you will see it, but you will see it 500 years delayed. It's a bit like if you're watching a football match or anything in TV. You're not, even though it says it's live, it's still a few seconds delayed. When you're watching this live stream, yes, it's live, and I'm sitting and I'm talking to you, but there is like a 13 second delay. It's basically the same here, but just on a much bigger scale. So it's just watching a live stream 500 years delayed. And now we just saw the dimming, so that means 500 years ago it dimmed. Simple as that. So it could have happened already. In theory, yes. It could have happened already, and the light just hasn't reached us yet. We're going back to the past, yes. I mean, there is no information that can travel faster than the speed of light. Not that we know of, at least. So whether it's gravity waves, or whether it is light, or whether it is actual matter, nothing is going to reach us before 500 years after it happens. It's the same thing. If you, right now we have the Earth orbiting around the sun. If you imagine the sun just disappeared like that, we would continue orbiting the star that doesn't exist for 8 minutes, because that's the time it would take the gravitational effects to reach us. So we would technically be orbiting a star that wasn't there, and we would still be able to see the sun for 8 minutes, and then it would just disappear, and then the Earth would just keep flying in a straight line in whatever direction it was heading. Yeah, it's mind-blowing, isn't it? That it could have gone gaboosh, like, so long ago, we just didn't know. But the gravity well is not the same as the light that got kicked off. I'm not sure I understand. Technically, astronomy is history. Yeah, you could say so. It's more fancy calling it a time machine, I think. I mean, we have pictures. If you go and look up a picture of something like the cosmic microwave background, that is light emitted at the creation time, like a few seconds after the creation of the universe. So that is light that is what 13.6 billion years old. What nebula was it where the suns aligned? I think there are actually multiple of them, but I think in the Eagle. There's so many nebulas out here now. I wasn't that far off, was I? I knew it was out in that direction. No, here it is. Is that the one you're talking about, Dongalora? With all the things lining up on nice, neat lines like that? I'm pretty I hope at least, if let's say that in the lifetime of Elite that Beetlejuice actually does explode, I'm almost certain Frontier would do something with it in game. That would be amazing, I think. Okay, people asking which is why these systems are aligned. So, sorry, I need a glass of water. When Elite was first created, Frontier created something called the Stellar Forge. It's a piece of software that was used to generate the galaxy, because we do not have all stars in the galaxy mapped. We only have a subset of them. So what Frontier did was they took all known stars and they put those into the game, and then they said, based on those stars, based on the type and distribution and how many there are of each, yada yada yada, they then generated the rest of the galaxy up to the 400 billion stars that we have today. But what they also did was they also added all known stars. So the stars we actually know today has been added into the galaxy. Let me just get my camera on the right side here again. Has been added into the galaxy in their known position. Now, if you look at this is all the same type of stars. These are all F-types, if I recall correctly. Yes, so here you can see it's just a lot of F-type stars. So someone looked at an Eagle Nebula and say, we want to map F-type stars. So they did that. So they mapped a lot of F-type stars in the Eagle Nebula. And they apparently found a lot of them. But when you imagine if you're looking at a star, you can quite accurately measure. So you're looking at it from Earth. So you're looking at it like this. You can quite accurately measure their position in like left to right and up and down. So their angular position is quite easy to measure. But the radial position, like how far they're away, is more difficult. So therefore, they were measured with only within 1 light year. I mean, they cut off all the decimals and says we can't measure it accurately enough to get all the decimals. So they just cut it off. And that means that if you look at this line here, it goes like, draw a line down this length here, it goes straight back towards Earth. And that's because when they were looking at it, they could only determine these by 1 light year intervals. So therefore they all fall into these bins. So when Frontier added it into the game, it looked like this, which is of course weird, but it's simply just down to inaccuracies in the measurements, and it's not because the stars are actually located in these weird bands like this. In reality, they would be more spread out, but but because the way that they were measured, they were just divided into these bands. And we have this in multiple areas. There's a nebula out in this area as well that has the same issue. So it's simply just because you can see on their name, they're all very similar, so they're all part of the same survey. That's one of the reasons why I've been enjoying Elite so much. When you have a background in astrophysics, that just being able to sit and look at something like this and think, yeah, these are stars that has actually been discovered. And I could go out in the night sky, I could point on a star, say, I want to fly there, and then I can go in front of my computer and I can fly to that star if I wanted to. I can't remember what the other nebula is, but there's one more over here. Let's see if we can find it. Is it the Elephant Trunk Nebula? This one is not as prominent, but it's definitely still viewable. Oh, hold on, we should probably, it might be other star types, so we should probably re-enable all them stars again. I believe them to be bluish stars as well. No, this one looks pretty even, so that's probably generated. Bubble Nebula. Bubble Nebula, I love that. It's one of my favorite nebulas. Look at that. It's so pretty. Heart and Soul. No, it's not Heart and Soul. How does Frontier explain why we could go faster than C? That's the whole frame shift. It's just another version of warp drives, and it. Thank you, Robert. I think most games just go with the warp explanation, which is the only thing that has like a slither of like chance to actually be viable. And then of course gameplay reasons. No, it's okay, Matthew. I love talking about this, and we were back anyway. I wasn't planning to go out to do more combat anyway. I know that I can't remember which nebula it's in, but there's one over here as well. But anyway, if you ever come across this in Elite, where you see stars being like weirdly aligned, towards, but weirdly in bands like that, always check. It should point straight back to Earth, and then you know that it's just measuring inaccuracies, which is. Okay, can't find it. Hello, Joker. Thank you. But there's a lot of cool objects in Elite. I actually want to show you guys a clip. I also showed a quick clip of it from Hello Dave. See if I can find it here. Yes, here it is. Okay. This that I'm about to show you is not a time lapse. This is recorded in real time. That's a beautiful, beautiful white dwarf around which our planet is orbiting very fast. This is inside the exclusion zone of that star. A planet like this should not exist. It's absolutely, it should be absolutely toast. Especially not when it does something like that. Yes, exactly, Matthew. This is super close. I have a video highlighting this coming out next week. How did I manage to land? Well, video again coming out next week. And I'll show you there. Yes, exactly. Strider has the planet of death. Anyway, guys, I think it's about time that I call it for today. It was a ton of fun having both getting the blunderbuss out, getting some NPC shot up. That build is a ton of fun. There is a feature video coming out with it tomorrow, and I am planning to do a build guide for it in case you want to replicate it. Then I go over the build in a little bit more detail, a bit like we did in the beginning of the live stream, talking about what modules I choose, why I choose it, and all that good stuff. Also, thanks a lot for the donation during the live stream. That's awesome. It's almost always very much appreciated. And great having an astronomy talk here towards the end. I can talk length about astronomy. I should do some just like babble on for 2 hours about astronomy live streams at some point. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, remember to give a like. And if you're over on Twitch, you can go down and hit the follow button. If you're on YouTube, you can hit the subscribe button. And yeah, remember there are links for live streams. I can't talk today. Wow. There are links for Discord in the description below if you want to join the channel community. Lots of friendly people over there. We don't play other games than Elite also, just for fun, and yeah, generally a nice place to be. So I hope I'll see you guys over there. Thanks for watching, and also next time I'll see you guys in space.